Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing the NFL and the Christmas game that will be happening this year, and now we're going to be talking
Uncle
about
Roger.
Santa Roger. And now
Now
we're
we
going to
go
we're
ahead.
going to
Go
be
ahead.
talking about Caitlin Clark's offered a $5 million contract by Ice Cube's BIG3 basketball league. But before we do that, I just want to remind you guys to like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show. So to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. That link is GSMCPodcast.net. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Alrighty. I just want to first say I did not know like Ice Cube owned a basketball league.
Yeah, he owns the big three.
Did not know that. Oh,
Yes.
Ice Cube.
See, we got Uncle Roger and Cousin Ice Cube now.
Yep, they're doing some good for everybody.
Yes, they are.
Alrighty, so Caitlin Clark was offered a path-breaking $5 million contract by Ice Cube's BIG3 basketball league. Caitlin Clark and Ice Cube, the collaboration you didn't know you wanted. It could happen, but it's not in the recording studio. Ice Cube and his BIG3 basketball league have offered Iowa's Clark a landmark contract to play in their 3-on-3 league. The deal is a $5 million for 10 total games, according to TMZ, and Clark would see even more money from endorsements and merchandising. $5 million is quite a bit more than Clark would make in the WNBA, where yearly player salaries don't typically rise above $300K. If Clark took this contract and became the highest paid women's basketball player ever, Ice Cube said that she would still be able to play in the WNBA. He sees the Big Three as an alternative to practice of WNBA players going overseas during the off-season, which happened, the whole situation happened with a WNBA player when she was in Qatar. But
She was in Russia. I got you on that.
oh, Russia, yeah, sorry, yeah.
All right. Ice Cube writes a rhyme that I say. He also writes big checks, too. And if Caitlin Clark is smart, she signs on.
She signs it on, yeah.
Yes. Listen, it doesn't affect her endorsement. It doesn't affect her basketball career. It only helps her basketball career.
Yeah.
She gets out there on the big three playing against other men. And then you get to see kind of what she's like against the men. It's only going to improve her game. And she can get paid. That's a $500,000 a game. 10 games, $5 million. Do a crossover, a fadeaway. Even if she gets smoked.
I would do that. I would get
I'm
smoked for
telling
$5
you,
million.
Exactly. Puff, puff, give.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm playing in the big three.
Yeah.
Listen, Q, you give me $5, I will go up in there and just shoot a couple of jumpers on the big three.
$5? You'll do it for $5?
Heck,
Tate,
that's
you told me.
half.
Now you told me to never sell yourself short.
You know what? You are right. You know what? I'm being honest with you. I'm not doing anything for less than 10 stacks.
Period.
That's right.
You get that money.
I am not.
And then pass some of it over here.
like Caitlin Clark going and dishing off some of my girl Faith. Got to, Q. Listen, Faith
Throw
is,
some over here.
Faith is only 4'10".
4'11".
Actually, my wife had to defend you because I was talking about you, and I'm like, Faith, man, I'm like, Faith is 4'1" and this, and this, and this, and I'm talking. She's like, wait a minute, Faith is 4'10", 4'11". I'm like, oh
4'11".
yeah, that's right.
4'11". I'm 1 inch away from 5 foot. Well, half inch actually, but whatever.
Look at you. You're just hoping. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. We're doing rapper Ice Cube. Why not bring it all out?
Oh, jeez.
This is not going the way you expected it at all today.
No, it's not. No.
Yes. No, I think it's great. This is exactly what women's sports needs. This.
She is setting women's sports off the charts right now. Every time I go and look at sports news, it's something, Caitlin Clark something on every website. So
it's either nowadays, tell me if I'm wrong. It's either Florida State is suing somebody, Jerry Jones is all in, or Caitlin Clark. Mm-hmm. And it is a good thing. Yes. I'm hoping that I hope jealousy doesn't get the best of people and they turn on Caitlin Clark, because she's that ship that's making all the tides rise. You know what I mean?
Listen, even if people get jealous or whatever, they're still giving her attention.
If you don't understand, haters are going to hate. Haters are going to hate.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Caitlin Clark goes there, and let's say the Big Three gets killer ratings. Next thing you know, they're like, hey, next year, why don't we bring Diana Taurasi? You know, why don't we bring what's her name? The one that was with Steph Curry?
Sabrina Ionescu.
Ionescu couldn't get that out, so I had to get my girl. See, this is why Faith is here. This,
that's the only reason.
I may be the engine, but Faith is the wheels, the tires, the steering wheel. Faith is truly what makes this go around. I'm gonna keep it. Let's call it the way we see it here. But you know what I mean? If she does well, the more money she makes, the more money other women will get the opportunity to make. Mm-hmm. Because of her, give an example of how this affects even locally, even you. Mm-hmm. GSMC has been wanting to do more with women and women's sports for a long time. We had a women's MMA podcast, and that sucker just went over like, it went like a lead balloon. I was going to say something about something that happened in a church, but I kept my, I just mellowed it out there. Clean. Yep, kept it wholesome. PG 14. So, and it just didn't go over. We wanted to do a women's basketball one, but it just doesn't, the numbers and things weren't there when you start doing the research. Mm-hmm. Because of her and her popularity, bringing more attention to basketball over the last few years, it's opening up opportunities. So GSMC is coming out with a Hoops and Heels podcast, which is going to be starting very soon. Mm-hmm. ESPN is ESPNW. That just kind of rolled out. I'm hoping that more and more things like the Caitlin Clarks, the Serena Williams, mm-hmm. They're bringing more attention, which, it's a nice story. It's like, oh, we want to support the women, but then you look at the ratings and there's like -2 people watching the games.
Yeah.
That hurts, because then it's like, nope, we don't touch women. But people are tuning in for her. March Madness numbers are record.
Yes, I did it. I believe it was yesterday. I did a short on the Iowa's game was like broke records and was like the most viewed women's basketball game.
Do you see how that is super important? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, and I may be blasphemous to say this, but it's kind of like Jackie Robinson going to Major League Baseball. Mm. I know some people say it's not on the same level, mm-hmm. but it's kind of similar. if you go there and nobody watched and everyone boycotted the games, it'd be harder for bring in more black players.
Mm-hmm.
But he excelled, which then brought in more. If she can come here and play in the WNBA and light it up, just like she did in college. She lit it up in college. Then she comes to the NBA and light it up. And then she gets to play with the guys. And she does, let's say she does okay. That's a big story. You know, that's a big story, which then makes it so other people get the big stories. You know, Ionescu gets to have a 3-point contest with Steph Curry. She gets to play in the big three. It just brings it all up, and I am 100% behind it and love it.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the minute I saw this, I'm like, I sent it to you. I'm like, we definitely, I want to cover this because it's important.
Women don't get enough credit. I mean, some of these women are, in my opinion, just as talented as the men. I mean, looking at Caitlin Clark, that I feel like that's an obvious statement, but you know, people never give them the time of the day. So I really, really like that women's sports is starting to boost up and gain popularity.
Here's the thing. You take an NBA game and you look at an NBA game, and let's say it's, you know, there's 30,000 people at a game or 40 or whatever that number is. And it's 60% men, let's say 40% women. Okay. Those same women, a lot of them will not go to a WNBA game at all. Fraction of the cost. There's plenty of seats available. Nope, don't even think about it. When we started interviewing people for Hoops and Heels, and we started interviewing people, and they were like, no, I watch NBA. I don't watch WNBA. I don't watch women's college basketball. These were women. You know how many women I've talked to that's like, nope, I don't watch women's sports. I only watch the men. Why not?
Yeah.
If you know, it's kind of like, you know, you look around and half this country, over half this country is women. Shouldn't, if women are supporting other women, shouldn't the WNBA just be packed with women? And guess what? You pack a stadium with a bunch of women and you know who's going to follow? Guys. Because we want to be where the women are at. Am I wrong?
No. What I don't understand though is like there are like Olympic sports that are mainly women, and they're really popular and they get a lot of views and stuff. Like I believe women's gymnastics is like the biggest sport and like the most viewed sport in the Olympics. So I don't understand why like people will watch gymnastics, but women's basketball they're just like, ugh, no, I'm not gonna watch that.
No. It's worse than that. You can be like women's figure skating.
Love it.
Come to the Olympics, awesome, right?
Love it.
Okay. How many times outside of the Olympics have you watched women's gymnastics? It goes on. I mean, women's figure skating. They've tried a professional league and all this stuff, and no one watches it. Outside of the Olympics, it's kind of like that. Women's soccer, they'll show up for the Women's World Cup. Don't ask me to watch no regular season women's soccer league. Are you crazy? We're putting together Hoops and Heels, and we're researching popular sports. I didn't even know there was a women's hockey league. I was like, what?
What?
Yes, see, I didn't even, neither did I. I'm a sports fan and a big supporter of women. I had no clue that it was even on because the what's that one the Cornhole Championships pull more viewers than a lot of these women's sports. And that's a sin when
that's sad.
The population of the United States, forget the men. The hell with the men. We don't care about the men, okay? You're telling me you can't pack a stadium full of women? How come the women aren't going to these games? That's my thing. Get the women there, the men will follow. I'm supporting the women. That's why I keep bringing in Caitlin Clark, because they need to be heard. No, you know what I mean?
Period.
I want more women.
Period.
I'm pushing, Faith will tell you, I'm pushing for more women in the sports room every single day. I could have easily picked a guy who knows football inside and out, basketball and everything else. It's like, oh no, I got faith and faith.
He got me instead.
That's right. Y'all better recognize. And guess what? It's a better show with faith. It really is.
I agree.
So don't think like, oh, I played college football, college basketball, and hockey, and I ran cross country. Can I be a host on your show instead of Faith? Absolutely not. Nope,
I cheer.
I want my girl Faith.
I did a sport. It just is not a popular sport.
Yes, exactly. But it's still a sport. It doesn't matter. Women need to be supported. Women are growing and getting stronger in sports, and we're all better for it. That's my take.
Period.
I totally got on my soapbox, didn't I?
You did, and it's okay.
Have you noticed? I get kind of passionate about women's sports.
Yeah.
I want women to get more support and more eyes on them. So that's where I stand. Excellent.
Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about Oregon State and Washington State reaching a settlement with the Pac-12's departing members, ending a months-long battle. So make sure you guys stick around, and we will be right back.